I'm Andrew Armstrong. Welcome to the back office. Today I'm here with Jared.
Who no longer has a kneecap.
Yeah, it's got no kneecap. He's the multi-rotor guy. That means
I build drones.
And he's got
And
one of those
other
baseball
things.
caps with a fan thing on it.
Yes, yes.
And if you don't, you really ought to.
I don't.
I want to talk today, Jared, about a movie I saw about, I don't know, a year ago now. It was a while ago, but it was Mad Max
Oh, yeah.
Fury Road. I can't even remember who it starred, but it starred...
Such a strange movie.
It starred... Oh, come on, help me out. Oh.
You know who'll help you out?
Oh.
Google.
It starred...
Mad
Was Nicole Kidman in it? No. No, it was Charlize Theron. Charlize Theron with a missing arm in it.
Mad Max Fury Road.
Yeah, we'll
Kennedy
just go...
Miller. Oh, sorry, no, that's the
We'll just go on
production
Google
company.
now. You could have just done this yourself.
Yeah, sorry. Please watch the video while we Google it.
Oh, you're not even... You're actually going into it now. Yeah, it was a George Miller movie. Possibly. Yes, a George Miller movie. And look, no, don't even click that. Charlize... Oh, you made it go off the screen.
There.
Tom Hardy, Charlize Theron, and Nicholas Hoult. And Nicholas Hoult, you'll know him because he's that British actor, and he's in some of the X-Men movies, and he was in...
I didn't really recognise any of the actors, to be honest. I think the only actor that I would have recognised would have been the weird guy with the mask, just because he looks a bit like Bane.
So you don't even... Okay, so you didn't recognise all of those actors which are actually famous.
Yeah.
I have to say, it was probably one of the best movies...
Oh, wait. I do recognise Charlize Theron.
Yeah, you ought to have. She's South African.
Oh, South African.
South African. So, she doesn't talk like that, though.
No.
Yeah, so I can't remember what year it was. Go on, while you've got the bloody data up. 2015. I think it was probably one of the better movies of that year, if not the best movie, actually. I don't remember.
Something else came in 2015 that was really good.
But
I think it was the Star Trek.
that was good
Star
too,
Trek,
but
yeah.
that might have been earlier. Right, but just to describe it though, it hits you with sights and sound and chaos and craziness right from the beginning.
So weird, though. So weird. I hadn't seen the original, so I was coming into this...
the original 3 movies.
Sorry, I didn't know it was multiple. And like in the original 3, like everything's sort of scaled down a bit. It's slightly crappier cars, and there's still the weird
It's only
red
just
dude
happened
on
then.
the guitar thing and everything. But that was just so strange. Like, you know how we're going to be really efficient with the limited amount of fuel we have in this weird post-apocalyptic land? We'll drive around in these weird vehicles with guys strapped to them with bungee cords playing a guitar.
Oh, that's so cool. I don't even know what that's called.
So weird.
I guess the thing is, like, all the loads of people are gone, right? So the planet's kind of desert, post-apocalyptic type future, and there's not that many people around, and clearly they're farming and harvesting certain materials, right? So perhaps though, for that limited number of people, the small amount of fuel they find is relatively a huge amount. So imagine finding a fuel tanker worth of fuel.
Yeah,
It's going to last you a long time if you've only got 2 cars.
Yeah, I mean...
Actually, no, they were pumping it, though. They were pumping it.
It does seem like a bit of a silly discussion, but then there is the thought of they're thinking very short term because their children's children won't have fuel, you know.
Well,
But also, another question is, why do they keep making cars? If they just made one ruddy aeroplane, life would be so much easier for getting around.
Well, because I'm guessing if you have the original Mad Max, this must be set probably like quite a long time after, like 50 years or 100 years or something. Where
it must be.
There's no civilization in it at all. Whereas
Yeah.
Mad Max, remember, he was a policeman. It was like that was just the beginning of the sort of gangs and the fighting. But let's not get too bogged down into the detail. Let's just talk about a little bit like the artistic direction. I mean, the actual practical effects are amazing, and there's a lot of practical effects in this.
The one thing that I found a bit strange was the weird sticking a bloodline into a person to use them as like food.
No, they're using them as a blood bag,
Yeah.
a donor, because they don't have fridges, right?
But like, why did they need that?
Well, why not?
Why can't they just eat food? Why do they need like blood donors?
No, but it wasn't for food. It was because the guy was sick, right? He had like cancer or something. And
Really?
it was, yeah, that
Because
was the
it looked
point.
like they all like had these infusions that would last them a while, and then they needed them again.
No, that was just his.
Oh, it could have
his
been
war
an
boys.
inbreeding thing or something. Yeah, because they were all war boys.
The War Boys.
So it could be that they like use
Shiny.
some weird inbreed thing, and like they're really ill, and they have to use like the blood of normal people.
No, I don't think. I have to watch it again now.
'Cause
I
there was all
don't
those
think.
weirdly, hideously disfigured people and stuff. Like
I
that
don't know.
little guy with the telescope. Like
They're
really
just people. There's equal opportunities, things. But yeah, no, but yeah, I think.
What's that got to do with it?
Why why are you so down on the little freaky guy? Why can't he have a
I'm nuts.
telescope?
I didn't say he couldn't.
Oh, all right, fair
I
king.
was saying that.
No, but yeah, this is no.
There's
I think they're
something
ill.
weird going
I think
on.
there's no healthcare. They probably are. They're in the middle of Australia, so they're full of like
Obamacare.
There's no Obamacare.
Mad Max.
In Australia, as it stands now, like New Zealand, you're going to get loads of like sun hitting you. There's no sunblock. You're going to get ill, cancers, things like that. I think he was just ill. He was knackered. He was ill. He was using the other guy, Max, as a blood bag, basically, for a transfusion. And then it really just kicked off from there.
Yeah, it actually reminds me of a movie called, TV show called The 100 that's currently airing, where they like using people as blood donors for radioactivity resistance, things like that. Yeah, but
So it looks like though you're still kind of stuck on some of the philosophical debate of Mad Max rather than
the one thing that can ruin a movie for me is something that hinges the entire movie and is like complete and utter twaddle. For instance, Gravity, where she's holding onto his hand and she's got that rope wrapped around her foot, and he's like, "You have to let go. It won't hold us both." And I'm like, "You're in space. Like there's nothing to hold. Like the moment you've stopped, which you have, she can just pull you slightly and you'll both float."
But were they
back towards the ship.
Were they rotating?
No, not that I saw.
And
then he let go of her and started slowly drifting away.
I think there was way other sort of parts of the physics in Gravity that were way worse than that.
Oh yeah, there's the whole satellites apparently are all on the same level.
But it was. I thought Gravity was a great movie.
We should talk about Mad Max.
I don't know. We're moving off it now. Yeah, just watch Mad Max. I mean,
yeah, it was a good movie, but it was weird.
What do you want from us? It was good. It's if you like action, adventure, fighting, not too cerebral, not too much talking. I mean, what little dialogue there was just to the point and necessary just to continue the plot. It was a fine movie. It reminds me of another movie actually.
I would have given Mad Max probably a 2.5.
2.5. I'm going to go.
2.5.
I'll go for 3. I think there was another movie. Just check it out. I think it's called Cherry 2000, Cherry 9000.
I don't know that.
Bit of a similar feel. If you know that movie, Cherry, whatever it is, please leave a comment down below and let us. We can discuss that. And feel free to click subscribe. Subscribe to me. Don't bother subscribing to Jared. He's not very interesting. And as ever, thank you for watching.